Thank you, Chair Creighton. My name is Antonio Ingram. I'm Assistant Counsel with the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. I'm here to testify against Senate Bill 18. A couple weeks ago, a federal appellate court affirmed a decision to preliminarily enjoin Florida's Stop Woke censorship law, a law designed to curtail academic freedom of professors in Florida. The federal district court's injunction, upheld by the federal appellate court, cited George Orwell and the seminal book 1984 in the opinion. The judge found, and I quote, "The law officially bans professors from expressing disfavored viewpoints in university classrooms while permitting unfettered expression of the opposite viewpoints. Defendants argue that under this act, professors enjoy academic freedom so long as they express only those viewpoints of which the state approves. This is positively dystopian. It should go without saying that if liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. We are concerned that the effect of Senate Bill 18 will be very similar, especially on Black and Latinx professors who disproportionately teach courses that may not be within the state's purview as appropriate, especially given the context of these bills in a larger scheme. And we're afraid of this Orwellian sort of culture that may be produced. Again, tenure is not being attacked in a void. There have been comments that tenure is designed here to be abolished in order to respond to academics who are speaking in ways that are deemed to be not palatable to the leadership in Austin. And so we have grave concerns that this is going to really impact academic freedom, but specifically academic freedom for Black, Brown, Latinx, Asian American, and queer professors. This is academic freedom, but no one is really trying to fire the physicist professor. They're trying to fire the professors that teach women's studies, gender studies, Black history, Black studies. And we're greatly concerned about the discrimination that this bill will be unleashing onto higher education in Texas. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, any questions?
Well, yes, Mr. Ingram, you know, as I mentioned, different efforts going on state by state by state. From a bipartisan standpoint, including here, you don't feel like that both parties in all these states are going Orwellian, do you? I mean, certainly, you know, a review of tenure as a policy and also the definitions of sort of what would be found within just cause is a very valid discussion to have. Whether it's to change the policy, to revoke the policy, or just to show the public that we're vetting these conversations and what our institutions are doing on behalf of all in a way that's actually very balanced, very fair on behalf of all Texans.
So I can't speak to other states. I can speak to Texas. Yeah. And I will say that, as you know, the conversation around tenure, especially based on comments in the public record by the Lieutenant Governor, are about CRT. And it is about restricting discourse about race and gender sexuality. This is not a neutral sort of process that's happening out of a void. It's happening in a targeted way that's going to impact professors of color and the subjects that they teach.
So, yeah, I held hearings on tenure years before that. So,
right, but as of last year...
You're just talking about political wins lately. Have you feeling that way? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that this is a priority of Lieutenant Governor. And the commentary that he said about these topics are not political wins. It's his opinion that has led to these being a priority on the Senate.
And what would you say to me holding hearings prior to the Lieutenant Governor establishing priorities on the same?
I'm saying that Senate Bill 18 happened after he made his priorities known.
Okay. Yeah, we've been looking at tenure for years, so I think there's a complete miss of an opportunity to really look at impact if you just chalk it up to the easy layup on who's bringing something based on a political win. That's easy testimony, right? That's sort of, there's not a whole lot of depth in the thought process behind that or a review of this on behalf of the public if it's just the easy layup on a political jab. That's not, as the author, that's not why I'm bringing this forward. So I can tell you it has nothing to do with it now, and it hasn't had anything to do with it in the years that I've been working on it. So, and I would imagine from the bipartisan standpoint, state to state, there's a lot bigger picture going on there because it's not really related to the left or those communities that you mentioned.
Well, you know, the Legal Defense Fund is nonpartisan. Yeah. We view discrimination can come from any political party. Yeah. And so, even though this may be bipartisan, it does not mean it will not impact professors of color in a deleterious way.
Got it. Well, I appreciate your testimony and being here. You're always very passionate. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.